What's going on? Thank y'all for joining the podcast. This is my first day, so if you could please kindly raise your ya. My biggest inspirations for doing this are Theo Vaughn, Shane Gillis, and especially Tim Dillon. Your guys' podcasts are great. I love your style of comedy. I'm gonna try to, not cut the video and, just practice on doing the podcast. So, a little bit about me. I'm from the East Coast, and more specifically, the Eastern Shore of Maryland. So, we got a lot of Old Bay down here. And yeah, I'm about an hour from Ocean City, so that's pretty nice during the summer. And in the winter, I'm about a 4 hour drive from skiing. So you got the beach, skiing, and a big airport in the state. So that's only 2 hours away. So that's pretty good. I like to travel. That's one thing about me. I've always traveled even from a young age, doing things like, going to Disney and Cancun. So that's where my first two places I went were, and a lot in the Caribbean. So like Cayman Islands, Bahamas, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. John, St. Thomas, the whole nine. No, I'm just kidding, not really. But definitely a lot of places for a young age. I'm still young now, obviously, if you couldn't tell. I do like the Caribbean a lot. St. Kitts is definitely my favorite. I like it because it's like it's not super touristy and not a tourist trap like Cancun or St. Thomas. And it's just like really, relaxing. It's I would say culture wise, it's most like Jamaica, like the vibes, but you're not like getting begged to buy things from people and everything like that. So I enjoy that a lot. The beaches there are super low key. The good thing about the Caribbean is no matter where you are, you can always find a strawberry daiquiri. So yeah, um, so that would have been when I was a little bit younger, and then into high school. I was definitely a big partier. We actually had this house called the Roost House. Well, not we, but me. Um, not I'm not gonna give too many details about the house, but yeah, that was pretty fun. I'd have about 20 people over, like every day during the summer, and we would just, pour our hearts into drinking, 'cause why not? You know what I mean? One time on Easter, actually, not last Easter, but the Easter before, we had about 100 people come over. So like for us, like that was like popping. You know what I mean? And these were like kids not just from our school, but like literally all over the county and then into another county too. So like that was pretty hype. The cops did come, but I just hid in the attic, and the cops came to the door and was like, "Oh, y'all are partying?" And someone was like, "Yeah," and he was just like, "Have a good night." So that was pretty awesome, to be honest with you. That was low key like our version of the Project X. Obviously, we didn't have like helicopters come and bust the whole thing down or anything, but like I'm from a small town. Like my school was like it was 6th through 12th grade and only had 700 people. Probably, I think we had 101 in our graduating class. So to think that we had basically our whole class there is kind of insane to think about. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I gotta quit saying that, bro. After that, and I also was enrolled in pilot school for a little while. I guess you could say I'm still in it technically, but I don't go very often. I haven't been in probably like 6 months almost, so that's not very good. But yeah, I was really close to getting my private. I've done many landings. Done some solos, cross countries. You know what I mean? Oh my fuck! I gotta stop saying what you know what I mean. Anyway, so I was doing that for a little while, and then I started working at this crab factory because I have a connection with that. So I started working there for the summer, just on the side. I was still working at my other place or my other job, making good tips on the weekends. But I just decided to work there because, I was working at a crab house, that was a crab factory, had a connection between the two and connections with the people there. So, it was just a good way to make some money. And then shortly after, I went to Bangkok, Thailand, because I actually got a job offering. So I had a meeting there, and I spent 3 months in Asia living there. Very, very cool, by the way. Very good experience, especially at my age. I spent about a month. Yeah, I spent a little over a month in Indonesia. And about Indonesia, they're very, very Muslim there, and that's nothing against them, but it's just kind of a backstory. So no bacon, you got no beer, no alcohol at all. The girls have the hijab on. They show their face in Indo. Um, some places don't, but they were allowed to show their face. But you have to have the long sleeve and the pants. So it was really weird though because this area, Peri Peri, is like not well known at all. Like you guys could look it up. You're not gonna find anything about it. What I'm telling you now is probably the only thing, like from someone's perspective, that you could probably find out there. So, I was there in Peri Peri for 2 weeks and I didn't know about the alcohol thing. I get that they're Muslim, but I figured, there's bars there. Why would there not be alcohol? So I get there, I'm working, we're going out to dinner every night because a meal there, the same meal you would get at somewhere like Tokyo Steakhouse that's $30 is like $2 there. So, I mean, you're living like a king there. But so I would go out to dinner every night, get some, maybe some shrimp tempura, maybe some fried rice, whatever. And then we go to this bar one time, and I'm trying to order a drink. I'm looking at the menu. Tell me why well, one, no mixed drinks. No, that's for sure. They actually ban liquor in that area. People were getting like smuggling it in like illegally, but I don't know why. But I guess that whatever state or region ban out or ban liquor. So the bar only had, I think it was less than 3% Heineken and Guinness. So I had one. It was like I want to say like a roast coffee or coffee roast or something. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And another thing I thought was interesting, I was the first, well, not the first, but I was yeah, I guess, yeah, yeah, I was the first white person to visit this area in like 3 or 4 years. So I'd walk by, I'd be walking down like through the town, da 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 da, or even at a restaurant. And these people would come up to me and say, Boule, 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 because Boule, I think that's how you say it. I think it's Boolay, and it means like white boy or white person or something like that, or like American white person. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And they weren't like being rude about it, but like it's just they had not seen one in like forever. And I probably took like 250 pictures with like random ass people I never met. So it was kind of strange to me. I was like low key like a celebrity there. I didn't mind it, obviously. I was just trying to be nice. I was taking pictures with whoever just because, I guess if, you don't see that every day, so I guess, why not? I'll help them out. And I actually ended up visiting a mosque there, which is just like their version of a church. And I actually went to this one like right out on the water, beautiful white building. I'll try and put a picture right here. Beautiful like white building. At the top, it was like red, green, and yellow, and just beautiful behind it. Ocean, everything. So I went to the mosque and I was with, my Muslim friends that I'd made there while I was at work. And they went in and I said, am I allowed to go in? Just because. I didn't want to, be rude. I said, if it's rude or offensive for me to go in, I don't want to be part of it. Like, I don't want to offend anybody here. It might be okay to you guys, but how's everybody going to feel about it? So, I went in, you gotta go to the feet bath. You gotta rinse your arms. You gotta rinse your face. You gotta rinse your ears. Take your shoes off, socks off, everything. And I went on my knees and I think I went like this and let them do their thing because, obviously I don't know the whole prayer like practice or ritual. So I didn't do any of that, but I did watch and it was pretty cool in there. I did notice that it was a two-story. So only guys are allowed to be on the bottom and girls had to be up on the balcony and you couldn't see the girls while you were praying. You could only see the guys around you. It was like a balcony, but like the wall was slightly too high, so you couldn't see anybody. But yeah, and then after that, I was walking around the front of the mosque, just chilling with the people I was with, and these two older guys came up to me, and they were staring at me and just like looking me up and down, and I was like, "Am I gonna get in trouble? Like, are they, gonna kill me? What are they gonna do?" But actually, they were the I guess I don't know if you would say operator or maintenance or manager of the mosque. So they actually wanted a picture with me. I'll try and put that up here too. I'm gonna cover my face. I had really bad hair at the time, so not gonna put my face in that. But yeah. And then after that, I spent those 2 weeks there. Then I went to Makassar, the big airport nearby, 2 hours away. Flew to Surabaya, which is kind of like it's a big city, but it's not like Jakarta, where it's like, the capital and millions of people. This probably had, maybe 5 million people, which is kind of small, honestly, for like an Asian city, because you got to think, like, I don't know. In the US, if you said 5 million, you'd be like, what? Like half of New York? That's crazy. But like there, it's like nothing because everything, like population wise, is just so cluttered. If you go on Google Maps and zoom in on any island in Indonesia, there's at least one house on it. Can guarantee it. So yeah. Um, so I went to Surabaya and I actually ended up getting Wingstop, which, I didn't really think that would be an option there. And it was my first time having Wingstop. I love Buffalo Wild Wings. If you're seeing this, sponsor me. I go every single Thursday. I'm a loyal customer. I get the same order every time, large cheese curds, and it depends. Boneless wings, I either get 20 or 30, and then I eat, 10 the next morning and next night, or just 10 the next night. So I mean, y'all should sponsor me. I probably spent over $1,000, maybe a couple thousand, just at Buffalo. So Buffalo Wild Wings, yeah. Shout out y'all. Um, so I got the Wingstop there, and I bite into it, and what's weird, well, it's actually a good thing. In Indonesia, they don't use or have any of these like processed foods nearly as bad as we do in the US. Everything's a lot more natural. So none of their chickens are like pumped up with hair or what was I saying? Did I just almost say heroin? Hormones, sorry, sorry. Hormones and testosterone, all that. Um, so the chickens there are like literally like if you saw a baby chick, not a baby chick, but like if you saw I don't even know how fast chickens grow, but just a really really small chicken, like basically just bone, like a little bit of meat on there, not like these big giant fat chickens we got here in the U.S. So you bite into it, and it's not bright white meat because it's natural, so it's like kind of darkish, and the flavors just of the actual chicken itself isn't very good. It's healthier, but it's not like here where you can just eat the chicken like that. So obviously I had like sweet barbecue covering it, but it really wasn't that great. Surabaya is pretty cool though. I only spent a night there, so I didn't really see a whole bunch of it. I just remember like going walking down through the city, and I bought this. I went to this grocery store. This is a big city, so they do have alcohol in the big cities, just not the smaller areas. But I went to this liquor store, grocery store, and I bought this 6 pack, and it came with a Viking hat. I'll put a picture here, maybe too, with me wearing it. Don't know, maybe. But I just thought that was kind of funny because like they sell you beer in a product with the beer, like for advertising, I guess. So like one was like a Viking hat, one was like a crown hat, all these different things. So it was kind of cool. After that, I took a train from Surabaya to Semarang, I think is how you pronounce it. Smaller city, but still pretty big for sure. And I spent a week and a half in Pemalong. Pemalong, I did not really love. It's, a another small city. It has 1 million people, but if you looked at the way it was there, like you would not think 1 million people could even live there. I'll definitely put a picture right here. I just thought it was crazy. I'll put a couple, I'll do like a whatever 3 second timer on each one or whatever, who knows. But yeah, it was just not very many there was like literally 2 restaurants in the whole place. I remember. They did have the best orange juice I've ever had in my entire life. I will say that. It was kind of like it was almost like an orange slushy, like an orange juice slushy, but like real oranges. Like you could tell it wasn't like 100% orange juice from concentrate. Like it was actually like from orange. And I will say the fruit in Asia is so much juicier and like just so much sweeter and better. There were a lot of rice fields. That's like the main industry, I think, in Pemalong, I want to say, and the crab business too. But the rice fields, like on my train ride, all rice fields the entire way for 4 hours. So I thought that was kind of cool. You could see the people out with their, the hat that covers the sun, and it's like kind of pointy at the top with the I think it's called a sif, maybe, like getting that rice. So yeah. My hotel was actually a lot nicer there. The one in Peri Peri, literally only 6 rooms had a window in it. Luckily, I had that. It was a nice, like the people were very, very nice everywhere, but like Home Hotel was like a really, really modern hotel. Like you had a pool, a gym, like a really decent or pretty good restaurant actually. I got I think fried rice like every night and shrimp obviously because I love that stuff. But yeah, so not really a whole lot went down with that. And then after that, I had about a week break, so I went back to Bangkok for 2 days. And the worst thing ever, bro. I like Bangkok, don't get me wrong, but if you're balling on a budget, Bangkok is not for you. Now, if you want to sit here and say you can do cheap activities and eat cheap food, that's 1,000% true. But you walk into these malls that are, 20 stories full of expensive ass shit, like you've got to have your pockets loaded to do anything like that. Um, I did have a decent amount of money at the time, but like I'm not gonna sit here and go to the mall and buy something if I can order it online and and be the exact way I want it. Now, some things like that I couldn't, I never seen online before. I did get like a couple t-shirts and everything. But yeah, so I went to Bangkok for 2 days. One of the days I bought. I'll put it up on the screen. It's these like I don't know. It's like almost like an energy drink, but it's like a beer. It's like almost like the original Four Loco, not these Four Locos they've like pussified, like the actual Four Loco. And I think I drank about like eight, and I literally like just blacked out in my hotel room at probably like 3 in the afternoon and woke up at like 1 a.m. That shit was so funny. Would I do it again? No, but I don't know. I was just bored, didn't really have a lot to do in Bangkok. I'm not a very outgoing person, so I'm not going to sit here and bar hop and meet people really. That's not my type of thing. I'm more of like a, in the big city type of like Grubhub and chill, go to the pool. I did get a blunt delivered to me. That's the good thing about Thailand, bro. You can get weed delivered to you, opioids, which I didn't do, mushrooms also didn't do, and you can get literally anything delivered to you. There's a lot of stuff illegal in the U.S. you can do in Thailand, but then there are some other things that are like very very strict, like you cannot do. But I thought that was kind of interesting, some of their laws. So I just remember in that same hotel room, like the night before, just like puffing on a blunt on the balcony, just looking into the city. And then the next day, I went to the 7-Eleven, got myself some of these. I think it was like they're called like Smirnoff. It was like Smirnoff Ice, but not in this traditional bottle. But it was like a giant can, but it was like energy too. So it was like really gotcha. After that, I, I was supposed to be in Bangkok like 4 or 5 more days, but I was kind of like, I'm not really gonna sit here and just drink every day. So I ended up going to Phuket and stayed in this like really really nice like old style Thai villa, and it had like its own personal like pool that was like kind of like like almost like a lazy river, like a small one, but just a pool. Like it didn't move or anything, but it was really really nice. I liked that a lot. I was staying down in Rawai. I think that's Rawai or Rawai. So, and I like Phuket a lot because it's super westernized. There are like, some, foreign adversary type of people there, like Russians and everything. So stuff like that, I don't mind obviously, but it can be a little bit scary. So I kind of just chilled by myself in the pool. I actually got food poisoning like 2 days in a row from the same pizza place. And, the only way to stop the flow was to get into the pool. So had to do what I had to do. Um, and then after that, my time in Bangkok was up. I had to get like Grubhub or not Grubhub. They call it Grab there, Grab. And I just got like pancakes and shit delivered all the time, groceries, all that type of stuff. Then after that, I ended up going back to Bangkok for the night. And what did I do that night? Oh, I remember. I went to another 7-Eleven, got more of those drinks, and you're not supposed to drink in public there. That's like a very, very like bad thing to do. But I was just drinking. I even brought my drinks into a mall. Like I've stuffed them in my deep pockets, and I went in the bathroom, chugged 2 beers in the bathroom of that strong ass shit. And then on top of that, I went to this like it was like it was a dispensary, but it was like one you'd see in like downtown LA, like giant neon lights, all giant, blue, yellow, all type of shit. Ate a couple edibles, drank, blacked out, had to wake up at 4 a.m. the next day to get on a flight to Vietnam. So did that. Got to Vietnam. There it's like low key like Fort Lauderdale, but Vietnamese. Imagine that. So it's like pretty chill there. Again, when I was actually landing and I was driving, or I was in the car riding to the city, because it's about a 30-minute drive, you see on the way on the highway, Vietnam flag, communist flag, Vietnam, communist, da 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 da. And I thought it was the Russian flag at first, but even it being the communist, it's like low key kind of scary because like Vietnam like allows like zero tolerance on everything, like zero weed, zero this, zero that. So, I did like the city being there though, and the drinking there is pretty cool. Like you'll get like their local, I think it's called like it's like a Tiger brand or something. I don't know what you would call it, like Lagos or something maybe. I want to say. And you sit here and you buy a beer for 20 cents. So I had about 6 or 7 and I was sitting in this like a metal drum barrel, but it was like turned into a chair. And I was sitting, just chilling, had a guy to the next to me, like didn't know him. We were just chilling, looking at the street, doing our thing. And he goes and gets up to take a call. And this 4-year old, or I don't know, probably like 7-year old, sprints up, grabs his cigarettes, runs away. The guy comes back and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he goes and he starts sprinting after this kid, but he was already gone. So I don't know. Was that kid trying to smoke chat? I don't know. Or maybe sell it, give it to his parents. Who knows? He probably scoped it out and then went in for the kill. So, and then I got 2 foot massages 2 days in a row. Paid about like $3 for an hour. Why not? You know what I mean? This is what they do when they massage your foot. And yeah, I just remember having a pretty good time. The food there was pretty good. Drinking's pretty big there. And then I remember this. So I was walking back from the foot massage to my hotel, which was like on the beach, and there was a beach bar out in front. Really cool view. So I was walking back, and they do this scam here. So if y'all know New York City, like they'll do that thing where they're riding the bike and you're in like in the back in a carriage. Well, they do the same thing there, but they charge you like 6 times the amount if you were to just take a taxi. So I saw there was these buses full of like people from I think South Korea, Japan, all these tour guide buses. They drop them off in a certain spot, and these people were coming up to him trying to scam him. I was like, bro, bro, bro. I told like a group of like probably 16 people, bro, 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 do not get on that thing. Get download Grab and use that. You're gonna end up spending like $100 for these people. So I tell them that they don't get on. So I was like, yes. Then while I'm walking back to my hotel, I get smacked in the back of the head with a bottle of water. And then this guy rides on his like bike with a cart. He says, "I fucking yo." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." He's like, "You want to fight? You want to fight? You want to fight? Let's take this shit. Da 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 da." Luckily, I was right by my hotel, but like, I mean, shit like that, bro. Like, I was just trying to be nice with the people. Like, I get they're trying to make a living, but like, bro, like you don't have to scam the fuck out of people. Like actually like work for the amount of money that you're working for. Like charge the amount of money you're actually putting the work in for. You can't take the easy way out. So, I told him his lesson, he taught me my lesson. So I thought we had a pretty fair trade there. And then you have these like undercover cop type of people who will like sit out on the street and they'll ask you if you want to buy weed and stuff, and then they'll arrest the shit out of you. So never fell for that trap, but yeah, I just thought it was a good experience. Then after that, I came back to Maryland for about a week, chilled out, went to a friend's house for like a big party, and we went to Denny's. But that one of my friends, not now, but friend then, stayed back and decided to invite my ex over that I'd just broken up with while I was in Vietnam, type shit. And when I get back, she's just there. Or no, we get back, we're all chilling, like, oh my gosh, Denny's was so good. We're hammered. Then she walks in with her 3 friends, and I'm like, bruh. I'm like, "Ah." But yeah, so it's kind of an awkward thing. At first, like it was low key, it hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like, bro, are you really like doing this shit right now? Like I wasn't gonna sit here and cry or anything, but I was like, you're really gonna go that low, dude? Like really? Nobody else would do that shit to any of these other people here. So after that, I wasn't really friends with any of those people for a little while. Then we got it all figured out. And then I went to Canada for 3 months. That was my first time in Canada because I was working there now. I was training in Asia. Then I was actually putting that training to work in Canada. So I was up in New Brunswick, Canada, where I was living and working. Not a whole lot going on. Um, fuck. I'm gonna have to sneeze real quick. So, yeah, we were up in New Brunswick. This area is like literally the most Acadian northeastern part of Canada or of New Brunswick's. So, everyone's speaking French. Everybody can speak French, and about 30%, 45%. No, 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 no. 30% can speak English, and then another 15 can speak kind of English that you can understand, but it's not like the others that have it perfectly down. I wasn't rude about that, obviously. I just thought it was kind of strange because like Canada overall, you think like you have some French speaking people, but like overall, you'd think they all speak English because it was a British colony, so that part was French, so I know. But now, more recently, it's more English, so I don't know. That was kind of weird. Tim Hortons everywhere. Had a couple McDonald's, not really. A&W Burger is like popping there. Like Burger King doesn't exist. It's A&W. So, um, this is like a very, very small town though. Like, only a couple restaurants and nothing's open on Mondays and Tuesdays. Especially during the winter, nothing's even open until like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sometimes just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, not even Sunday. But yeah, I spent some time there. It was okay. I didn't love it, but I did have a lot of freedom, which I liked. Back to like kind of like Thailand times, you only got to be 19 to drink there and to smoke. So, like smoke weed. So, you know, got to do your thing. And that was kind of a challenging thing though, because I was able to go to the liquor store. So, if you're 19 or older and you have your freedom to do that, who's going to stop me? It's hard not to blow your money and hard not to get into the habit. I think I almost did have a pretty bad addiction with that for a while, but quickly got over that. Because I need to take my job seriously. I don't want that to interfere with work at all. 'Cause, I had a pretty good privilege being there. So, I need to take that serious, but I did have a pretty bad problem at one point. And then, I'd just kind of chill after work. I'd be work a lot though. I'd probably be working one week I worked like 101 hours. Um, so yeah, that was like a lot. But, on average I work probably a little over 40 hours, so pretty average. And yeah, so after that first 3 months I came back. I was right around my birthday, so I had a good party, all that type of thing. And then 4th of July right after that. So that 4th of July was very good. Love it. Favorite holiday ever. Better than Christmas in my opinion, to be honest. Um, I love Christmas, but 4th of July, there's just something like that red, white, and blue is just pumping through my blood, boy. But yeah. So, my type of 4th of July is more just like chill out on the beach, sleep, drink, do that type of thing, get sunburnt, listen to what's that? Something something of the red, white, and blue, that song. That's my type of 4th of July. And after that, I went back to Canada for I want to say only like 2 weeks at that point. So I went back for like 2, 3 weeks or something crazy, not very long at all. And then we ended up having a week off of work because lobster season ended up being done. So went back to the States for yeah, like a week or something. Um, hung out with a girl type shit. You know what I mean? I gotta stop saying you know what I mean, but you do know what I mean. So got to do that. Um, Actually, I'll admit this on the podcast. That was probably like the first time I ever cried about a girl. And I was even with her too, bro. It's like that shit was so embarrassing. But it was kind of like a heartwarming thing. It wasn't like, like I wasn't like, no, you're going away from me. But it was like, I don't know, it's just like a, heart touching, heartfelt type of moment. So I'm glad I did express some emotions with that, but it was just low key. Like at the time, like I couldn't control it. Looking back at it now, I mean, it wasn't that long ago anyway, but like looking back at it now, it was just like, why did I do that? But like, it was kind of sweet. I don't really show a lot of emotion, so I thought it was kind of good to get it out. And then I went to Canada for about 4 months after that. That's like when it kind of started to get like really, really long. So I'd work a lot, and if I had any off time at all, I'd like take long ass drives. So like, I'd go to Prince Edward Island, go to Charlottetown. I drove the whole island, just because I wanted to check it out. Had a lot of free time well, not a lot, but like if I had a day or two off, like I would just drive, drive, drive. So you got your P. It's mirrored, so I'm just gonna go like this type of shape. So you get off the bridge, you start heading north. Go over to Summerside. Check all that out. Alberton, all that over there. Come back over, and it's just full. Like you wouldn't even think this, but like PEI is like, well, so let me say this. So New Brunswick is like, mud bottom usually. So they have like a chocolate river in Moncton. It's just like a giant mud river. PEI is like red sand type of thing. It's like, yeah, so not a whole lot to do in PEI. Like you have Charlottetown and you have Summerside, but it's not like it's a city, but it's not like poppin'. They don't have a big mall or nothing like that. Neither does Moncton. But I just went to Summerside in PEI, Alberton, Cavendish, which is like a giant potato factory. Like imagine two Walmarts just being one potato factory. You drive by, you're smelling French fries everywhere. Start to get hungry. Um, then you go on the eastern side. I don't know what any of those towns are called really. But yeah, I saw some really cool stuff there. I try and put some pictures up, once in a while if I'm talking about something. Um, and yeah, after that, I went back to New Brunswick, worked, worked, worked. Then I ended up going to Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I love Nova Scotia. If I had to move anywhere in Canada, by far I'm picking Nova Scotia. It's just like super Americanized almost. They hate Americans low key. Like I went on this I think it's called like a frog leaper, a frog boat type of thing. It's basically like this giant like school bus, but it can drive in the water, like through the harbor. And he was telling a joke like about like burning down um the what's it called? The White House. And I was like, "Bro, we don't say that shit in my territory. Like you're really going to sit here and talk shit on the Americans like you don't copy everything we do, bro? Like you literally have Canadian Postal Service and we have well no, you guys literally have yeah, I think it's yeah, US or USPS, but the Canadian version. Everything we do, you guys copy. McDonald's is ours. Domino's is ours. A&W is ours. Tim Hortons is the one thing you guys created in all of Canada, bro. Do not be talking to me like you're gonna burn down our White House that we worked hard for, bro. So he was saying shit like that, and like after that, I was like, bro, like this is a good ride, but like watch your tone. Don't say that shit near me. Because that red, white, and blue is going to come through my blood and come and get you. Um, so, went to Halifax for like a day. Pretty cool area. Nice restaurants, nice hotels, all that. And then I went back to New Brunswick for a couple weeks, and then we had another day off, or another couple of days off. So, your boy was filling up. So I decided, I'm gonna download Tinder, see what's popping while I'm in Halifax. So I drive down to Halifax to get on the Tinder, start swiping, swiping, swiping. Eh, let's go on short term fun, you know what I mean? Gotta stop saying that anyway. Short term fun, looking through. No, 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 no. Eh, eh, eh. Yep, yep. Doing that. Finally get a match back. Short term fun. And I'm not gonna go into a whole lot of details, but you already know what happened. I'll go into more details maybe if my podcast becomes popular one day. That's a really good story, but I'm not gonna say it right now because I'm not gonna put myself on blast. It's pretty embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie, but what you got to do about it? Spent the night in Halifax. Then I went up to Cape Breton, did the Cabot Trail. Very, very cool. I'll put up another picture. You're basically driving on these like really hilly and windy roads. Some roads were like literally probably straight up. It felt straight down, and you were just turning like crazy. Like if your brakes gave out, you're dead immediately. So you have like giant, beautiful blue ocean. There's like I didn't see any whales, but like that type of or near that area, there's like tons of whales, seals, everything. So you got all that ocean that's beautiful and blue, rocky cliffs, and then to your right, you had like giant forest with mountains, all that type of stuff. Very good experience. It was like a 4 hour drive on that trail, but I loved every moment of it. And then I went back and then, went back to New Brunswick, did my thing working, came back down to Halifax one last time because I was like, I did Halifax and I done, the northeastern part of it. Might as well do the southwest. So I went down there, went down to Yarmouth, I think Shelburne, all that. And I did see one really cool place at like one of their national parks, but other than that, like the drive really wasn't worth it. Went back up to New Brunswick. Um, you know, I, did some stuff with some girls along the way. And then after that, right before I was about to leave, I had like 3 days before I was gonna leave, where I was just, there was no work, and then I got my plane ticket because I didn't know when the season was gonna end for work. I had about like 3 days, so I did like 19 or 18 hours of driving in one day, and I went up to Gaspé, Quebec, and did the whole peninsula. That drive was okay, not very worth it, but it was okay. Um, it was kind of like Cape Breton, like when you have like the rocks and everything, except you were down almost in the water, and then to your side was rocks and mountains and forest. There it's crazy. Like they speak zero English. Like I went to McDonald's there, and they could hardly take my order. So like that was kind of crazy because we were in Canada. So I was like, huh? Like I'd experienced it in New Brunswick, but not like this. Like these are like true like French Canadians. I thought they were pretty French in New Brunswick, but like, I guess not. I did actually end up seeing a moose and a bear while I was there, so that was pretty neat. Just a little cub though, nothing crazy. Um, and yeah, that's like pretty much all the traveling about me. I know it's like pretty long, but I just kind of wanted to let you guys know like that's pretty much where my life is at right now. I'm trying to take it to the next step, get a couple maybe side hustles type of thing. Get like Tim Dillon on my podcast type shit. Theo, Shane, um, maybe Bobby Lee and Andrew. Some New Year's resolutions from me. I need to start going to the gym. I wouldn't say I'm like fat, but I'm definitely not like very, very skinny. And you can see like I don't really got much of a chin or a jawline, so kind of need to start working on like eating less sodium, shrink my face down a little bit. Get how I used to be a couple years ago in my prime. So I can't really even be saying prime because I'm still young. So right now should be my prime, but I've been slacking, so I need to get back into it. Um, so I'm gonna try and eat better, go to the gym more. Mm, I need to, I don't know, put my mind to things more, be more committed. I have a lot of ideas I want to do, but I usually don't follow through very often. So I do need to work on that, I would say. Um, Also, maybe need to be maybe more outgoing or confident, I would say. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all that. Um, Chat, what do you, or not chat? I'm sorry, I'm used to streaming a little bit, so I'm starting to say chat. But what do you guys think about how the CIA came out and said how about COVID most likely being lab grown? And are you guys thinking that it was released on purpose or not? Me personally, from the jump, I pretty much thought it was fake. Not fake. It's a real virus because it did real things, but I don't think it was natural, like found in an animal. Um, it says I just got my Instagram popped up real quick. The FBI announced a large nuclear incident training exercise starting today. This is like in Albany, New York, and stuff though. Um, Albany, Saratoga. Where's Saratoga? Is that Florida? Could be dumb, maybe not. Um, I think it's New York probably. Look, there's my man Shane Gillis and Nate Diaz, bro. Can't really see it very well. Love y'all boys. And oh, and also I don't know if you guys saw by the time this episode is out, but Cat Williams finally came on Theo Vaughn's podcast, so I thought that was pretty neat. Um, yeah. So now I'm staying in Baltimore. Working obviously, staying in an apartment right now. There are like a filing cabinet and a printer in here and all this stuff, but it used to be an office, so not everything's moved out, but nice little place. Don't have to drive very far to work now, so that's pretty good. I do like staying by myself. I have this little area here. It's okay. I like it. I was driving 2 hours to and from work before, so this is a lot better, honestly. And it's convenient. I can get food at the restaurant right downstairs when they're open. Um, but yeah, I Show Speed became the mayor of Lima, Peru for an hour. Wow. Rockstar shut down a Liberty 6 mod that took 6 years to make. Damn. Liberty City, not 6. Whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys like the podcast. If you have any comments or topics you think I should talk about, this was just kind of an intro to me. I need to get better at talking to the camera and, thinking of ideas. I'm trying to be funny, but I also need to be brand friendly, I would say. Not like, sponsor wise, obviously, but like, just to my job and everything. I don't want to get fired, obviously. I have a pretty good job. I need to keep it. So, once I get maybe more popular, we could maybe see that in the future. But for now, I need to keep it pretty mild and not go too crazy. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Just a little intro about me, about my life, what I've been doing really. But yeah.